To the angel of the church of Sardis write, these are the words of him who holds the 7 spirits of God and the 7 stars. I know your deeds. You have a reputation of being alive, but you are dead. Wake up, strengthen what remains and is about to die, for I have not found your deeds complete in the sight of my God. Remember, therefore, what you have received and heard, obey it and repent. But if you do not wake up, I will come like a thief, and you will not know at what time I will come to you. Yet you have a few people in Sardis who have not soiled their clothes. They will walk with me dressed in white, for they are worthy. He who overcomes will, like them, be dressed in white. I will never blot out his name from the book of life. I will acknowledge his name before my Father and his angels. He who has an ear, let him hear what the Spirit says to the churches. As we stand here among the ruins of Sardis, it is hard not to feel the contrast. Today, this is a place that's quiet. The stones are weathered, the columns stand open to the sky. Grass grows where people once walked. The mountains rise behind the city and the plains stretch out in front of it. What we see now are fragments. But in the ancient world, Sardis was not a forgotten place. It was famous. Sardis was once the capital of Lydia, a wealthy kingdom known for gold, trade, power, and luxury. The Pectolis River flowed nearby, and ancient stories connected its sands with gold. This was the city of King Croesus, whose name became almost a proverb for wealth. People came through Sardis on important roads connecting the Asian coast with inland world. It was not a small hidden village, it was a city with a name. And that may help us hear the words of Jesus to the church here. You have a reputation for being alive, but you are dead. That is such a sobering thing to say. Sardis knew what reputation meant. It had a past full of greatness. It had money, it had architecture, it had temples, public buildings, civic life, and cultural importance. Even the landscape itself seemed to say strength. High above the city was the Acropolis, a natural fortress that must have looked almost impossible to conquer. From below, Sardis looked secure. But history tells another story. A city can look strong and still be vulnerable. A community can have a great name and still be fading inside. A church can have activity, memory, and reputation, but no longer be awake to the presence of God. As we look at these ruins, imagine the life that once filled this place. Merchants selling goods, travelers coming in from the road, wealthy citizens moving through the city, people gathering in public spaces, worshipers approaching temples, athletes and students in the gymnasium, families walking past walls that seemed permanent. There would have been noise, color, ambition, religion, and pride. Sardis was a place where a person could be surrounded by signs of life and still miss the deeper question, what kind of life is this? That is where the message to Sardis becomes so searching. Jesus does not accuse them of open persecution like Smyrna. He does not focus on false teaching like Pergamum. He does not describe a dramatic external crisis. Instead, the danger seems quieter. Something inside has gone still. The form remains, but the life is fading. The name remains, but the pulse is weak. Maybe they gathered. Maybe they still had songs, prayers, memories, and respected places in the city. Maybe others thought, that church is doing fine. But Jesus saw beneath the reputation, and he looks past appearance. He sees whether love is awake. He sees whether trust is alive. He sees whether their works are complete before God. And then tenderly but urgently, he says, wake up. That word matters here. Wake up before reputation replaces relationship. Wake up before memory becomes a substitute for presence. Wake up before spiritual life becomes only habit, only appearance, and only something people assume is still alive because it once was. The ruins around us make the warning visible. A city can have walls and still fall, can have wealth and still lose its soul, can have temples and public buildings and a famous past, yet still become a place where people visit centuries later in the silence. But Jesus' message to Sardis is not only a warning, it is an invitation. He said that there are still a few who have not soiled their garments. There's still life. There is still something worth strengthening. The flame is low, but is not completely gone out. That means Sardis is not beyond hope. And I think for me, I feel like I was dead in my life, and I feel like I'm alive again. It happens. It's amazing. God has woken me up. And the one speaking to them is not trying to shame them into despair. He's calling them back to life, to be connected, to abide. That is the beautiful part of this letter. Jesus does not confuse appearance with reality, but he also does not confuse weakness with hopelessness. He tells the truth because he wants them awake. He names the death because he wants them alive. And maybe that is the question these runes ask us today. What parts of our lives look alive on the outside, but have gone quiet in the inside? Where do we have a name, a role, a memory, a reputation, but maybe not the living connection we once had? Where are we going through the motions while Jesus is gently saying, wake up, strengthen what remains, remember what you received, return. Sardis reminds us that spiritual life is not measured by appearance. It is not measured by what people assume about us. It is not even measured by what used to be true. Life is connection with the source of life now. So as we look at these stones, we are not only looking at the remains of an ancient city, we are looking at a mirror. Sardis asks whether we are awake. It asks whether our faith is only a reputation or whether there is still breath in it. And Jesus, even here among the ruins, is calling his people back to life.